So are you guys, are you up to no good?
No, we're good guys.
Oh, excellent. I like good. You haven't destroyed anything, have you? Did you break that mask? You see the mask is strapped to the top of the deck.
No, we found it like this. Melton, and I point to Melton, he tried to patch it up, but I don't think it worked very well. It's just holding it together right now.
Yeah, that's not fixed. I mean, don't tell him that, but it's not, he didn't fix it.
I did fix it.
It's not really fixed.
How do you know?
Because I'm looking at it. It's got a big crack down the center.
I bet you couldn't fix it any better.
I bet I could.
I bet you can't.
She takes a big breath. And as she does, you see this cold blast of ice kind of frosts the entire deck as well as the mask, and the boat immediately sinks about 30 feet as you all go, whoop, and the boat starts to come down. She's like, see, it's better, and the boat's slowly starting to descend into the trees. She says, uh-oh, your boat's sinking.
Yeah,
You see Zathalia's kind of running around. She's yelling at the fire elemental in some language, and you hear the dragon says, why are you telling it to get hotter? Suddenly you see it all melt and the water starts pouring over the edge as it gets extremely hot on the top of this boat. The boat stabilizes. Like, oh, you ruined how I fixed it.
Don't do that again, because you might actually knock us out of the sky.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was just trying to fix it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be not helpful. Well, nice to meet you, and I'm sorry you're not a Trask, so I gotta go. And all of a sudden she like lets go and flies off. She says, nice to see you. By the way,
goodbye, nice meeting you.
Yeah, it's safe. Everything's safe around here. Nothing to hurt you. See ya. And she flies away.
Dragons.
Dragons.
I wonder why they're all young dragons.
As you guys continue to see her fly off, and as you're continuing to fly to the east, you see that there's a large oak tree of immense size. Relenia, you immediately recognize this tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you notice that it's about 300 feet high over the regular canopy. You also see, as you get closer, there's a large clearing immediately surrounding the tree itself. And you see several other trees that are there, and there's kind of a ring of the forest that's sort of cut out from around the area here. You see that the tree is has a large canopy and is covered, yeah, that's what I got.
So there's the grandfather tree. It's been alive for millennia, and it's very smart. When we land, we just have to make sure we announce our intentions for the tribe, the ghost tribe, so that they don't think we're coming to attack or whatever.
Well, is it even possible to land the ship around here?
Yeah, if we can't land right here, I would probably know of a clearing somewhere near.
Yep, you can. You'll see. I'll bring up the map. So the map is here. You can see the small kind of green edge around the center of that map. That's the actual grandfather's tree's canopy. So like to the northeast, you have, or to the northwest, there's that landing spot where you could land. I can actually show where I can put it here. So, and then there's trees underneath the actual grandfather tree as well. So, and that's the trunk of the grandfather tree right in the center. So you could land there.
Well, for Linnea, since you know the customs here, if you want to announce our intentions.
All right.
So you're going to land, I assume, and...
Yeah, we'll just set down, and I'll just be on the deck waving and whatever. I really have no no real understanding of the ghost tribe and their
Sure.
customs or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey, we're here to talk to the grandfather tree. And
So-
just being
Yeah.
stupid.
As you land and you immediately look towards the base of the tree, you see something that you've never recognized or heard about before. You see 3 centaurs standing at the base of the tree. Centaurs obviously are in the woods and you're familiar with them, but they have no relation with the grandfather tree that you're aware of, and it seems very unusual that they would be here.
Yeah, so I'll relay that information.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I don't know why they're here. I don't think that the tribe has anything to do with them.
But they're native to this area. Maybe they're just visiting the tree like we are.
I don't
That
know
could
any.
be.
I don't know anything about centaurs.
Yeah, they live in the. I've seen them, and I've met a few in the high forest, and the ones I've met aren't bad. Maybe they're here to find something out from the grandfather tree for their tribe or something.
Oh, okay.
As you guys are talking on the boat, you see that 4 more also come around the tree, and they're all talking to you themselves, looking back at the boat.
Does
Have
it
we
look
exited the boat?
I think you're still in the boat. I'll put your token.
Does
on
it look like they're
They're-
worried about us or defensive or?
No, they seem kind of concerned and baffled, to be honest with you. I don't know if they've ever seen a boat, let alone a flying boat with a large balloon on it.
I'll look around and see if I can see any of the ghost tribe around in the
you don't.
area.
You don't see any of the ghost tribe.
And does it look like there's been? I mean, does there look like there's anything wrong? Is stuff burning or broken or bodies or anything like that?
No, yeah, no bodies, nothing broken. It appears to be serenely peaceful.
Okay. So at the earliest opportunity, I'll hop off the boat
Yeah.
and just kind of walk toward them, and I'm just kind of not even thinking about safety, just kind of waving and hello there. We're
Okay.
here to visit the grandfather tree.
All right, sounds good. So as you get out and continue to advance to them, kind of waving and yelling and whatnot, they continue to kind of stand there and they look at you. You do see them kind of nervously pawing at the ground at certain times. They don't have weapons up towards you at all, or they don't appear like they're hostile to you. They have their pikes with them, obviously. They do have, there's several that have longbows too, but they're not drawn or pointed at you at all. They're just all sort of standing next to the tree, kind of just pawing at the ground, sort of looking. I assume you'll continue to kind of walk towards them.
Yeah. Do I know?
Yeah.
Do I know what language they speak?
So you should, being from the High Forest, you know that they do speak Elvish, as well as Sylvan.
Oh, I just happen to speak both of those actually.
Oh, there you go. As you're entering,
So I'll talk to
Oh,
him.
go ahead.
I'll talk to him in Sylvan,
okay.
which I assume is probably closer to their own. Oh, and are they Fae?
Maybe. No, they're not. They're not Fae.
Okay.
They're monstrosities. That's a side view of the the grandfather tree.
Looks like the tree of life at Disney World.
It does. If you stay for the night, there may be some lights. So you continue and you see kind of the mounds that are here. Looking around, even into the forests as you look, the forest is definitely has activity in the periphery of animals and whatnot. However, you don't see anything within the circles here that you can see.
So do they respond back to me?
They don't. They just kind of continue to talk back and forth amongst themselves, but they don't really respond at all.
Do you understand them, Relenia?
I can speak to them. They actually do speak Elvish, but their native tongue is Sylvan. I just made that up. I don't know if that's right. But.
It's all good. I like it. And the other thing is that they're talking quietly, so it's difficult to hear what they're saying from this distance between each other. They're generally talking back and forth, but there's always one that's watching you and your group.
Okay.
All right. So you continue towards the mound there, and when you get about 50 feet from the inner circle that's there, or right along the inner circle, you hear a voice kind of scream out from the tree in Elvish and says, "Go away!"
Was
Did
that
it come
Melton?
from in front of us or behind us?
It sounds like
Or-
it's coming from the front trees, the two trees that are in front of you, the north tree and the west
okay.
tree. Go away!
Are you talking to us?
Suddenly, you see what looks like almost a wood-like elven female kind of blends out of the tree. She's covered in bark, and she has sort of this yellow, sort of leaf-like hair. And you see two of them that appear, and they both kind of walk, one from the north trunk of the north tree and one from the trunk of the southern tree, and continue to say, "What are you doing here? You are not allowed."
I live here in the High Forest. I've come to visit with the grandfather tree. Oh, I would recognize these as dryads,
You
right?
would, absolutely.
Okay. These are dryads. I'm making this up too. I think they're protectors of the forest.
Alrighty. They say, "What is your business with the tree?"
We're here to.
Chop it down?
Did we? No, we had. Didn't we have something that we
Milton speak
actually?
Elvish, by the way.
Yeah, Lord.
No, he
Someone duct tape his mouth shut.
He doesn't speak Elvish. Okay, cool.
No, we're here searching for a relic of the Uthgard tribe.
Barry, you say that in Elvish.
Sure.
Okay. They say, "We know of no relics in the tree."
No, it would be buried in one of the mountains surrounding the tree.
There are no mounds. We've been here for decades, generations. No mounds, only roots.
Where's the ghost tribe?
In and about the trees.
I'm just trying to find my notes here real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't remember. Did Liferless tell us to come here for? I don't seem to have anything that says he told us to come here.
To the grandfather tree. I think he had said to
Yeah.
come search around the grandfather tree to look for something. However, let me go back and look at my notes, because you're right. There is a hook here. I just can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
And I know that Airgloss, who was the moon elf that we met in Goldenfields, he told us to find a treant named Turlang,
Correct.
but I don't think that had anything
No. I think it was
to
some-
do
think
necessarily with the grandfather tree.
Right, I think he was saying it was somewhere generally in the high forest near the grandfather tree. I don't see any hooks here for it. Sort of
Okay.
complete out of meta, but yeah, I don't see anything in my my thing that says that. There may have been a hook, and I may have forgotten it. I apologize.
Well,
Well,
I'll just
is
tell
it-
them that. Oh, go ahead.
Is it possible that we can just look around the tree? We mean it no harm.
Barry, give me a persuasion check.
And then I'll also bring up that I had a vision with Sylvanas here at the grandfather tree.
All right, Barry, give it to me with advantage. Can you roll again? All right, what do you have to roll? Let's see. Okay, so you needed a DC 14.
Nice.
So they say, Do not harm anything within the great tree. And they kind of blend back into the tree itself.
We will not, of course. And so I look over at Melton. Don't touch anything.
But there's woodpeckers.
So, you
I
see
won't touch anything.
All right. The centaurs are standing there, and as you get right about there, Barry, you get this sudden stench of dead meat, is what you smell.
Can I just all over the place? Like
It's
coming
coming
from
from
one
the
direction?
tree, or maybe the centaurs, or centaurs. You all can now smell this smell of it smells almost like dead meat. It's disgusting.
Cover my nose.
Alrighty.
Are the centaurs, are they like paying us any mind?
They're just watching you guys. They're briefly, kind of talking underneath their voices. They appear to be normal. They don't appear undead or anything like that. They just are sort of standing there, sort of looking at you with some of their hooves pawing at the dirt around the tree nervously.
Melton calls bullshit.
Oh, nice.
He calls bullshit. Those are fake abs. I think they drew them on.
Oh, Lord. This is 300 where they airbrushed everybody.
Yes, it is.
So Relenia will continue to just kind of wave acknowledgement and talk
Okay.
in Sylvan that we're here to visit the grandfather tree also.
All right. One of them, probably the leader of the group that you see there, speaks up in Sylvan and says, "Stay away. We are cursed."
How are you cursed? Maybe we can help you.
We don't know, but we can't eat or drink without making ourselves sick. The only way we live is standing next to the tree, the great tree.
And I look back at the. Doesn't the tree's got like healing
It does.
properties or something?
Yep. It
doesn't
does. It has
Okay.
regenerative properties. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, so I look back at the party and I tell them that the tree is renowned for its ability to heal and cure wounds and things like that.
Are they talking in Sylvan?
They are talking in Sylvan. Yep.
So
Do
I
it.
didn't know what they said, so I moved forward.
I go, wait, Barry. They've got some sort of an aerial disease. They say they are cursed. They say they can. They say they can only eat or drink if they are near the tree. That if they leave the vicinity of the tree, they cannot eat and they'll perish. Hey, Stig, can you maybe check to see if you can see any signs of a curse or anything like that?
Well, is it contagious?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I can. I don't know what kind of check I'd do from back here. Medicine?
Yeah, you can do medicine. How close are you to Barry? Close enough. You can reroll.
I come in handy.
Yes. Oh, even better. So that was your first roll. Here's your second roll. So yeah, you're unable to determine what the curse is, or you've never heard of such a curse before in your travels.
Wow, that's with a +7.
That's with a +7. Yeah. 1 and a 3.
Melton says he knows what curse this is. He's heard of it before.
The
It's a
centaur.
thing. It's a thing called a diet. It's the curse of the diet.
That is a curse, no doubt about it. The centaurs kind of, you see them sort of move back and around and sort of give you sort of a wide berth so you're able to come closer.
No wonder you have such great abs. It's all about body fat percentage.
Yeah, it's about half. So they kind of move out of the way, and you can see these large roots that sort of stick out of the ground, and they kind of wrap around. And there's all these little cubbies and nooks and nannies that are in the roots themselves. You do see, just standing here, you see little emblems that are things that are kind of put there. You see, sort of trinkets and treasures that are sort of tucked into the tree's roots.
I'll take a piece of the moss that I found and
Okay.
kind of scrape away a little fresh dirt and plant it there next to the tree.
Yeah, and the moss immediately you notice spreads out to about a 6-inch area of the area that you planted in immediately.
We might need some Roundup.
But it doesn't. Go
I'll just
anymore.
keep.
Just the once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
just the
all
one
right.
time.
I was gonna say I'll keep an eye on it. 'Cause,
Yeah, no, just the once. You do see that as Barry, you continue to look around. You notice that these roots have these little, like things and some of them are big enough where you see small caverns where you can kind of crawl underneath the tree and kind of pull yourself through the roots if you wanted to go deeper into the tree.
Yeah, Melton, you want to help me look under here since we're small enough to probably fit in?
Don't let him touch anything, or take any of the trinkets or anything. I mean, you guys have probably never seen me be as serious and as I am.
Anything worth anything?
And that medicine roll was to see if I recognized anything on the centaurs.
I gotcha. Yeah, same thing. You never really noticed this before. They don't appear to be plagued or anything of that sort. You don't understand. Like they said, they're cursed, but you don't see anything that shows that they have a curse on them or whatnot. So as and by the way, Relenia, as you said that and did that, you felt this sort of this feeling, a very similar feeling, kind of come over you. This feeling of a blessing, if you want to call that, and you notice that you feel just like as if a bless spell had been cast upon you.
Okay.
Alrighty. And then, so Melton, you kind of go dig down, and Barry, you're with them, and you guys are kind of climbing in between these roots of the tree and pulling yourself through, and generally just getting covered in kind of a wet sort of dirt that's there. And as you continue to climb through, after about 15 minutes or so, you locate one. Really, you've not seen anything at all, but you do locate as you kind of go through. There's this large electrum torque, essentially, and it's etched with giant runes all along it that you've seen, and it's kind of a U piece of electrum, and it's about the size, probably about 3 or 4 feet in length, kind of shaped in a large half circle, a moon, almost like a ring with an opening at the one end of it. Weighs about 25 pounds.
I call it for my manservant, "Oh, William."
William kind of peeks in, and he's like, I can't crawl in there. You got to bring it out.
I'll try to drag it out.
All right, it's about 25 pounds. It takes you guys a little bit of finagling to kind of get it around the roots and everything, but eventually you're able to pull it out, and you do see that it's etched with a bunch of runes along the side of it, and you recognize one of them is a ruin that you guys had seen in the temple, and that's the ruin of the hill giant.
The hill giant, you said?
Yep, the hill giant. Yep.
Well, I wonder if, well, not wonder. It looks like this is what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Stick, can you tell if it's magical or not?
I'll cast ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. So as you do that over the 10 minutes, anything else for anybody else? Melton, unfortunately, you found nothing that you could snag.
Can I tell if that, like, rotten smell is coming from the centaurs now that I'm up?
Definitely is coming from the centaurs.
So maybe they are cursed.
So you do do that. You find out, Stig, that the torque is not magical. However, this mithril spear tip does give off a slight conjuration.
Oh, okay.
Huh, I didn't even think to check that one earlier.
What do we want to do now?
Well, Relenia would like to try to see if she can do anything for these centaurs. That would be on her list, but she'd also, touch, lay her hand on the root and just kind of say a prayer to Sylvanus and, just talk to the grandfather tree.
Yeah. So looking at the centaurs, really not a whole lot you can see. They do talk about entering a ruin somewhere in the forest, and then that's when they overcame this curse, and they almost died getting here, and they lost several of their brethren on the way. But once they made it to the tree, they haven't lost anything, but anytime anybody moves away, they start to sort of waste away again. They don't know anything about the curse itself. They just know that the curse is there, and they have feelings of sort of despair at times, but knowing that the grandfather tree is taking care of them, they're willing to stay here until the curse is lifted. The grandfather tree really, you sort of get a very serene sense of being here. You also get the feeling that upheaval is kind of afoot per se in its long life. It seems that there's been a lot of death and destruction over the last several centuries. That seems very unusual, considering that there was so much peace prior to that. Otherwise, don't really have anything else that's sort of commune to you.
Okay. I asked the centaur, do they know what the ruins, was it a druidic ruins or...
No, it was seemed
elven?
to be very ancient ruins, and that took a lot of brush to get through it. They were called there by dreams that they had and whatnot, but once they arrived, they found only darkness and death,
They ain't find no loot.
and they did not find any loot.
Do we want to try to find any of the Uthgard that are in this area, or do we not need to do that?
I don't know. Do we need to speak with them?
Well, since we have what we came for, no. But I mean, if we want any additional information or to see if they know anything about anything.
I'm good. I don't know if they'd know anything with it being such an old relic.
No, not necessarily about that. Just about, giants in general, or if they've had any problems with encountering giants in the area, or whatever.
I gotcha.
Well, the reason why I'm saying no, that I don't want to engage them, is we've just pilfered one of their relics.
Okay.
I mean, we're doing it for a good reason, but they're barbarians. I don't know how reasonable they would be if we say, oh yeah, we just dug up one of your relics and, we're taking it somewhere. So I think if Relini, if you don't have anything else to talk to the grandfather tree about, you head back to the ship, and then we've been flying for a few days. Do we need to, before we head north or to our next destination, do we need to find a city and restock real quick?
Well, Everlund should be almost directly north from here, and we have to go there anyway for something else, I thought.
Everlund is directly north. It's about, looks like about 75 miles, maybe. Probably less than that, probably 50 actually, considering the distance back to the other one. So it's half a day's travel.
Yeah, we can do that.
that was the one where we needed to go to Danavar's house to find Drawl.
Yep.
And give him the platinum badge.
What were you going to say, Stig?
We can go there if you want.
So you guys do know, just since you're all part of the Lord's Alliance, there's a little bit of tidbit about Everlund that I didn't tell you, which it doesn't change anything, but Everlund used to be a member of the Lord's Alliance, but recently they just voted to leave the Lord's Alliance, so they're on their own. They're not with the Lord's Alliance anymore. Not that it changes anything. That's just some history that you would know. You don't need to know it, but I'm just telling you.
They've switched over to the Emerald Enclave, right?
Actually,
I'm just kidding.
Sundabar is who they switched over to, but but maybe
We're getting stronger every day.
every day, one tree at a time. So that's what you guys do, I assume.